Richard Sherman was just the latest of the people that you've been able to auto-tune to remix. How'd you get involved in this?
Just sort of, I guess, being a kind of an art dork a little bit, you know. I was always a DJ, you know, and then started kind of just incorporating sports. I love sports. I love a lot of stuff, obviously, but I just started incorporating sports clips into my remix work. And I think what I love is sort of squeezing out the essence of like a topic. So, you know, if somebody's got a temper or somebody's got some, you know, comedy to them, you're just trying to like sort of accentuate that, but try to get it across in like, you know, a minute and a half. So
yeah, you've done that. It always seems to me like you are trying to find sort of the humor and the levity of these kinds of situations. Does it just, the mood just strike you, or is it something that you have to sit down and kind of work through the process?
I mean, I think time is of the essence these days. I mean, if something hits today, you almost want to get the remix out tomorrow. So I think for me, like if I see something, I already know, well, I don't have time in my schedule to actually do that, but I wish I could. So it's really, I mean, it's just about how fast you can get it up there because somebody's already got the dubstep remix of whoever. So.
You said that you were a touring DJ for about 10 years before you kind of started it. Do you remember what was the first one that you did that all of a sudden went completely viral on the internet?
Yes, the first one that went completely viral was my remix of the Slap Chop commercial.
Yes.
Which
can't get that out of our heads now. Thank you, Steve.
Which went bonkers. I was all of a sudden on like morning shows. The week after when it came out, I'm talking about how viral it went, and it was so fast. You know, I'd never experienced anything like that before, where it's just like all of a sudden people have seen millions of your Slap Chop commercial, and I'd spent 10 years trying to make like cool underground dance music until that point. So, you know, it was a lot for me to process at the time.
How do you deal with that now? How do you reconcile with it? Are you okay?
I'm okay with it.
Being famous
I'm
for
okay.
remixing the Slap Chop guy.
It created a bit of a conundrum because I had, you know, a lot of hardcore fans of my sort of underground stuff, and so for me to come out in that way with like a infomercial remix was an interesting mix of people that came together at once.
I can imagine.
Yeah,
it brings out a new audience for you.
Yeah.
This career has taken you all over the world. How do they perceive these mashups? How do they respond to them in other parts of the globe?
It's been amazing. I really had no idea that it would go this far and to be received by this many different groups of topics, groups, sports or non-sports. And so, I mean, I guess I take one example. Had an opportunity. Well, I did some remixes for the U.S. Olympic team this year, and but my greatest, I think my most memorable story is remixing Muhammad Ali and going to London and presenting the video for Muhammad Ali and they brought him out and he loved it, and it was definitely like one of the greatest experiences that I would have never imagined this would have brought me to. The remixing of video.
That is surreal.
Yeah, it was really cool.
So have you gotten to meet a lot of the athletes that you have now remixed?
Surprisingly, I had very little interaction with the athletes. I think sometimes I see a tweet like, oh my God, I saw that one or whatever, but I had a chance to remix and put together sort of a best of reel for Usain Bolt. And the closest I had as far as a collaboration was he gave me his iTunes top 10. And so I worked with sort of what he gave me, his artistic inspiration, and so I kind of made this kind of a dance hall inspired thing that kind of covered his career and, you know, the awesomeness of Usain Bolt. And it was kind of cool to work with an artist, work with actually an athlete that closely.
If someone wanted to pay you and say, hey, I want you to do this for my friend who is not famous in any way, not a famous athlete, would you do it, or do you like to choose your topics?
That actually happens. Okay. So it's like we'll have like somebody like at a company or like a CEO of a company or something, and they want to just sort of like have like a personal video, like, hey, my buddy, you know, big fan, we just want to show it at their wedding bachelor party or whatever. And so sometimes I'll end up doing like little funny videos, just sort of like best of Rick video or whatever, whoever it may be, just because it's kind of fun. But.
Yeah, I have a feeling that would also probably cost them a little bit too.
Right.
You're going to get the Steve Porter treatment. All right, so you've been able to do a lot of these athletes. We're obviously here at Sports Illustrated. Yeah. So who were you a fan of growing up? I mean, what's your sport that you really love to watch?
Well, I mean, I'm a Boston guy. Okay. I mean, so I'm Western Massachusetts, which is still Boston. But I was obviously into all of the Boston sports. You know, the Larry Birds of the world was one of my idols. But obviously, you know, grew up loving Michael Jordan, so who didn't, you know? Right now, LeBron James probably up on the top of my list. He's been in a lot of my mashups.
Yes, he has. We noticed.
You know, and obviously have nothing but respect for him. You know, like he just ends up being like, you know, people either want a mashup of him or, you know, they want to cover this angle of him or this angle of him, and so I've done a lot of him. But yeah, I mean, I'm just a sports fan in general, so you know, bring it on, any topic you bring on, I'm ready to do.
Be careful what you wish for, Steve.
Yeah.
They're going to get tweets all over the place from that one. So what can we expect from Porterhouse Media Productions going forward this year, Porterhouse Music?
Well, I actually just wrapped up another spot for a U.S. Olympic team, which I'm really psyched about. It's really kind of nice to be participating in our country's sort of Olympic push. So put together a video, sort of it's remix montage of people doing the luge and speed skaters and you know, kind of the sports that are not necessarily like the highest sexy level, but like are really cool, and I think they wanted to kind of shine a little light on, so it was really cool to work on that. So just wrapped that up yesterday, and just got a lot of stuff in the pipeline.
We're looking forward to that. Bringing the cool into the luge. You're helping.
Trying.
You're doing your small part. And so we now have heard that you are going to help us here at SI Now, because we're trying to raise our cool factor a little bit.
Sure.
Obviously, I'm not helping as the host of the show, but you can help us, Steve. We heard you're going to make a video for us.
Sure, yeah.
Have you gotten any inspiration from being around here for the last 30 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, everybody here looks great. I mean, we could do a remix of the whole team, or no, no. I mean, if you guys want to, we can powwow and talk about any kind of topic, any player or team, or you know, I'm open.
Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed this clip from our daily live show, SI Now. You can find a link to the complete episode in the description box below. And while you're there, make sure to subscribe to Sports Illustrated's YouTube channel. Remember, you can watch SI Now Monday through Friday live at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, only on SI.com. We'll see you there.